What is going on, guys? Welcome to a very special episode of the Gaelic Gridiron podcast. We are here in Munich on the eve of the final international NFL game of the year. The New York Giants taking on the Carolina Panthers tomorrow in the Allianz Arena. And joining me now is the man at the moment, Andy Quinn, on the back of his commitment to Boston College. Andy, welcome to the show. Great to have you back here.
Thanks a lot for having me on. Really happy to be here, and obviously delighted to announce my commitment to Boston College. It's gonna be a great 4 years.
It was a bit of a whirlwind week for you. You had the announcement yesterday, obviously at halftime in the NFL Academies game against the IMG team from Florida. But how are you feeling? Has it sunk in yet?
Oh well, I've had my decision made for the last 2 weeks. So once I came off the plane for my official visit. Even when I was there, I told the coaches I'd definitely be coming here because the scenery of the school, the level of football I'll be playing, and also the academics were all key points that made me decide that Boston was the right place to go. And also being Boston in Irish, being Boston and Irish, there's no better place to be.
I mean, it would have been the biggest fake out in the world if you had have gone somewhere else after the big build-up towards Boston College, and of course sharing those fantastic images from your official visit. We all love seeing those. I suppose the first of all, Andy, I think the question I have, and obviously there's deep connections between Boston and Ireland. There's that piece, but what was it about Boston College that drew you to the program and to commit there?
Multiple factors. The coaching staff have been in recruiting, the way they treated me while they were recruiting me. Unbelievable, texting me pretty much every day. Dead periods, they left me alone, so that was necessary. But having Coach Bill O'Brien as my head coach of the Texans for so many years, and then also the academics really drew me there. I'm planning on studying finance, so the Carroll School of Business or School of Management is that's going to be really, really good to life after football. And having that strong degree behind me. And hearing about the alumni support that Boston College has, choosing Boston College was sort of it was trying to preempt life after football and set me up in the best place possible. So hopefully it will be the best decision.
A lot of schools, I mean, Boston College is renowned for its academics. It's renowned as a football program as well. But the emphasis is more and more on the student part of the student athlete. I mean, football is not just about the sport on the field, right? It's about setting yourself up for life afterwards.
The motto of the school is men and women for others. And they definitely show that in Boston. So, for example, there's a minimum amount of hours that you have to do in community service as a student athlete. So you have to, it's not even you get the opportunity to work with kids with special needs and go to food shelters and stuff like that. So it's going to be really, really exciting to grow myself as a person, as an athlete, and in my academia as well.
I want to dig into your official visit because I'm really curious to find out about that, the whole experience. But first of all, let's talk about Coach Bill O'Brien. I mean, myself and yourself talked about this briefly yesterday. Yeah. I mean, he's massively underrated as a coach if you think about it. When you look at his resume, he's coached at Penn State, he's coached the Texans, he's learned under the best in the business. I mean,
the two best in the business he's worked under Coach Nick Saban,
exactly,
and then also Coach Bill Belichick. So
literally, and Belichick learned from Saban,
exactly.
Well,
so
vice versa, actually, I think.
Yeah, so his experience is it's undoubtable how much experience he has, but I only came to football this time last year, so I don't have that much experience, or I don't know that much about the ins and outs of who worked for who and all the sort of politics behind that. But I'm really looking forward to working for a good person as well. I've met him for in total, my meetings with him have been probably over 2 hours now. Yeah. And first sentence I've had with him, you know straight away that he's a good person, and he wants the best for every single athlete. All 105 athletes that he has in the program, he wants the best for them.
And has he given you any inkling into what your role might be coming in as you said it yourself, still relatively new to the American football space and playing at such a high level, although you wouldn't think it from your performance on the field. Yeah. do you know what you're going to be focusing on within the program, or is it all kind of, are you going to wait till you get into camp and see what happens?
Yeah,
then?
so I'm going over in January, but the motto of the football team is earn it. So everything that you get in Boston, you've earned it. So I'm going into Boston to work hard and to earn my spot as a punter and also as a kicker. So I'm looking forward to just getting to work and getting to be in training every single day and being part of a college football program, one of the best in the country. So, the motto is earn it. So that's what I have to do before I get any spot on the field.
And Boston College, it's not, they don't shy away from competition. They are a Power 5 school playing in the ACC. There are going to be some big teams you're playing against.
Next year is really exciting. Like, we're playing Notre Dame, Clemson, Georgia Tech. We're playing SMU,
Wow.
Stanford.
Yeah, big games.
Like the whole season.
When's the Notre Dame game?
Unannounced yet, but it should be the 27th or the first weekend in October. So early enough in the season. It's going to be in Boston. So really, it should be a sold out.
Might be the flight over to see my Notre Dame Fighting Irish taking on the Golden Eagles.
Yeah.
Young Andy Quinn kicking balls, hopefully.
An all Irish affair.
Absolutely. Speaking of the official visit, Andy, you mentioned that you knew coming off the plane, but that's where you wanted to go.
Yeah.
And we saw when, that video emerged of Coach O'Brien ringing you when you were at home, making the offer.
Yeah.
That was really special. So was the official visit like a continuation of that? Was it just you felt right at home and that's what made you want to go there?
Yeah, so I over the summer I've been to Boston twice. And I knew it would be a good place to go to university. But then my parents hadn't seen it, hadn't seen the coaches. They were still very skeptical at the time when I got the offer. So the official visit was needed. But as soon as my parents got on campus, they knew straight away that this is the right place. The atmosphere around campus, everyone was like quite happy. We're in the middle of fall, and the game atmosphere was incredible. And I think my parents were quite proud to think that their son would have the opportunity to play in front of crowds like that and go to university in a place like that. So there's so many good aspects that my parents were drawn towards, and that's what finally made the full decision.
I mean, that's a massive part of it, right? It's not just about the football program or the opponents and the bright lights and all that. It's about the atmosphere, the family feel, whether you feel at home, and it seems like you really felt at home there.
And it definitely helps. That's the closest Power 4 college to Ireland.
Yeah.
It's a 6-hour flight. It's the same for some of the lads. If any of the lads are in California, they have to have a 6-hour flight to go home as well. So it's and it's going to be easy for my parents to travel over and see games, and not just my parents, but family and friends. It's going to be really, really fun to play and for it to be accessible for my family and friends to go see games as well and experience it with me.
And it's a beautiful city. I mean, Boston's a fantastic place as well. So that's obviously going to be exciting for you to be living in that fantastic part of the world and getting to experience the culture and all of that kind of thing as well.
As I said, I'm also looking for life after football. So I've got Boston, I've got New York as a 2-hour train ride down the road. So businesses wise, and I'm hopefully getting a finance degree. So all them big companies around me, that the Northeast felt right.
So we saw back over the summer before you had your visits and all that kind of thing, as part of the recruiting process, you were attending a lot of kicking camps, specialist camps where a lot of the scouting happens. And some of those were down in, SEC country, down in Tennessee and in the height of summer.
Yeah.
At that point, when you were partaking in those and you kind of saw that you were at the level of some of the indigenous kickers, perhaps, who have been doing this all their lives, did it ever kind of cross your mind that, okay, I can potentially go SEC here? I mean, we saw some photos of you at Tennessee.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been insane.
There was to be fully honest, I don't think there's many specialist coaches that aren't following me on Twitter at the moment. From that Coles kicking camp, I didn't realise I was at the level I was until 2 weeks after the camp, because they hadn't posted their official rankings until afterwards. And then I was at home in Dublin with my dad, and I just showed him what Coles had ranked me. 4th for punting and 12th for field goals or for kicking in in the whole United States.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Like, I'm really proud of that.
I mean, we saw some of the footage coming out, and there were some pretty impressive noises coming from the coaches when you had the hang time that you had and the leg that you were showing off.
Exactly.
I mean, in all facets, not just punting, but kickoffs, field goals, extra points, the whole package, really.
Yeah. But as you said, like, did you want to go SEC? Like, obviously SEC is the top level of football, or I believe anyway, it's the top level of football in colleges. But I was also looking for, I've said it 5 or 6 times now, life after football.
Yeah, exactly.
The Northeast, being Irish in Ireland, or in Boston, and having all them communities around and having links to back home to Ireland was really, really important for me. And I think Boston College was a perfect fit.
Now, what's the next step? You've committed. You're still kind of reeling a little bit, I'd say. You're getting all the messages of congratulations coming. I saw you last night briefly. You looked a bit stunned, understandably so.
I was exhausted after. Like, I literally just had to put my phone away, not look at it, and I was at my former team, the NFL Academy's game last night, which they won impressively. I just had to, at halftime it was announced, and for the second half I just had to put my phone away. I just ordered my taxi and then just went to bed as soon as I got to the hotel. But the amount of support I've got is, I'm so grateful for it. And American football is such a small sport in Ireland, to have pretty much the whole community come out and say well done and congratulations. It's really special. And like, I would definitely, this time last year I wouldn't have, or this time 6 months ago I wouldn't have thought this would have been possible.
So are you going to enroll after Christmas? You're going to take a bit of time now just to prepare yourself and start ramping up the preparation for going into the high level situation. I mean, it's going to be a step up again from your training with the NFL Academy.
And the Academy is just a high school. They're the best high school outside of America, and you have to give them credit for that. But it's just a high school. I'm going into Power 4 college now, but at the moment I'm just focusing on completing all my enrollment tasks and then getting my visa, and then but I'm constantly out kicking in the gym. So it's not exactly a state of now I have to ramp it up. It's now I have to make sure I don't go into Boston injured, or now it's just about keeping consistent with it. And I have loads and loads of people on my side that I've been talking to. I have about 3 or 4 mental coaches that I'm working with in Ireland, and they're just, because kicking is 90% mental, and it's all about keeping your head and keeping your cool in moments of pressure. Anyone can kick a 50-yard field goal in training. It's about being able to do it it's about being able to do it against Notre Dame, 2 points down and to score.
The big defensive lineman, bearing down off the edges trying to get to you.
Yeah, exactly. And when the pressure's on, that's when kicking. That's really when you see that's when you separate the good kickers from the bad kickers. Because anyone can kick a 50-yard field goal and put it up on Twitter. It's about when doing it in a game. So I'm working with 2 or 3 mental coaches that my dad has put me in contact with, and it's working well so far. And it's just about keeping all external distractions out of the situation, really.
You're in the unique position to your advantage where there's 3 or 4 lads now from Ireland, all with the same background as yourself, who have gone to top college programs and even to the NFL. I mean, we saw a couple of weeks ago, Jude McAtamney from Derry was kicking for the New York Giants, which a couple of years ago, even last year, was absolutely unheard of. Yeah. But now you have the likes of Ross Bolger from Idaho State. You have David Shanahan in his final year for Georgia Tech. You have the likes of Paddy McAteer with Troy. The list goes on and on.
Oh, it's crazy.
So you're following it. You're not so much as following in your footsteps, but surely it's great to be able to kind of...
Oh, it's great to have them lads to talk to. They're way down the road, like all the lads you mentioned there, they're all down the road compared to where I'm at. The only difference between me and them is that I'll be the first lad to go straight from doing my Leaving Cert last June to going straight into college football. They all went to some type of university before going to America, and also my predominant sport was rugby and theirs is Gaelic football. And to be honest, I can't see why more lads from rugby aren't giving American football a shot, because the opportunities I've got have changed my life. Not everyone that's playing rugby is going to make it pro, and obviously nobody from Gaelic football is going to make it pro. So I really think, more lads from rugby should give it a shot, because Only one or two lads a generation can be Johnny Sexton. So why not pave your own path?
And I think it's safe to say as well that you're probably the most high-profile college football recruit out of Ireland when you look at the media attention that this has got, and the fact that, as you say, you're going straight from the secondary school level to college without some kind of different path. I mean, I suppose you have the most similar path to what a high school recruit in America would have, where you were actively recruited by a Power Four conference school.
Yeah, but that attention that I got was due to a multiple of factors. The fact that I won Ireland's Kicking King in the Aviva Stadium, like my first kick, 45,000 people got to see that. Like, so that instantly sort of blew it up. Like, but then also being part of the NFL Academy, like they put so many people in front of you. They put so many opportunities in front of you. That really helped it. So I'm on my sort of second recruiting stage now. Like, I had to work to get recruited to the NFL Academy. And the rest of the lads who are in college it's sort of their first recruiting. Like, they never had to go through trials for any other team. So, I'm just delighted to be able to go to Boston and listen, it's all about, like, it's all well and good saying I'm going to go to Boston College and play ACC football, but you also have to perform when you're there.
Exactly. I mean, you've, I suppose the easy part is done now.
Exactly.
You've gotten the scholarship, but now the actual hard work starts, where you're going to be in the
trenches. The
trenches. I mean, it is. There's no ifs or buts about it. It is a professional setup at the college football level. We all know that. So, like, you must be buzzing though.
Oh, like, I didn't. So I went to the Northwestern Nebraska game in 2022. With the
free beer.
Yeah, that game.
The infamous beer snake that made it at the front page of ESPN.com.
Yeah, but I went to that and saw the atmosphere. I thought that was just because the game was away in Dublin and everyone was sort of on the piss that night because of that. But then I went to Boston College versus Louisville, and like the tailgating, the atmosphere in the stadium, everything was just massive. And that was my first real taste of college football in America. And not to say I'm hooked, but like,
you would be. I mean,
that just gets your adrenaline going, and thinking about I was sitting in the stands, sort of itching to be able to get on the field already. Yeah. So I just can't wait to get out to Boston, start working, and see where it brings me.
So, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, there's an ever-growing amount of Irish athletes, as you mentioned, predominantly Gaelic football, strangely enough, but also you know yourself with the rugby background, that are becoming involved in American football and are getting opportunities to play at a high level. First of all, what are your thoughts on this trend? Secondly, do you think it's sustainable? And thirdly, what's kind of causing it? So three kind of different questions there.
I think so. Is it sustainable? I think 100%. Obviously, Tyke Leader has had a massive impact. Like, just if you get to see one fella like going, then that's like lads who are left behind are like looking at him. Oh, sure, I'm as good a kicker as him. I'm sure I can do it. And then they go, and they actually are as good as him. You'll have to go through the rest of the question.
Yeah. So I mean, sustainable, obviously, but what are you from being in that environment and having gone through the leader kicking program, the NFL Academy? What kind of drives the attention, or
I've said this before, and it's the opportunities that you don't know are, for me anyway, it's the opportunities that I don't know are there. So like if I that's what drove me after the Aer Lingus College Classic, winning that. I was like, oh, maybe I have a scholarship. That's what drove me. Like, no one told me I'd be. Oh, well, firstly, at that time, I wasn't good enough to have a scholarship. And listen, at the moment, that's what's driving me is the opportunities that I don't know. They could be there in the future, and if they're not, I've lost absolutely nothing. Otherwise, I'd be sitting at home in Galway, probably watching Gaelic football, not even playing it. So yeah, I'm delighted to be in the position I am.
And like, I think it's safe to say that this is only the beginning, with the attention that is now on the likes of Jude McAtamney, Charlie Smith, and now yourself potentially, that have come up from native Irish sports per se. It's only going to keep getting bigger and bigger, right? With more guys getting opportunities, and the fact that the US college system and now the professional system have suddenly become aware of this untapped pool of talented NFL players or potential NFL players?
Well, definitely 100% college football players. I think Ireland, so Australia took over the punting scene for about 12 years there, for the past 10, 12 years, and they're still going strong. But I think kicking a ball off the ground, that's Ireland's forte.
Yeah.
And I think we're in the next 5-6 years, we're going to take over, to be fully honest. And every second college is going to have an Irish kicker, because it's natural for us. If you take, like, when growing up, you're always going out the field with your brother. Well, this is me anyway, going out with my brother, taking 45s, taking conversions off the floor. We weren't massive punters, because that's more Aussie rules, and that works for them. And I think, we're made to kick, born to kick balls off the floor and through a set of sticks. That's what we're born to do.
Finally, you mentioned that you had to fight to get recruited to the NFL Academy there, and now we also have another Irish guy there, Liam Dineen.
Yeah.
Have you been in contact with him? Was it kind of a connection there that kind of brought him to the NFL Academy as the next Irish guy up, or did you only kind of become aware of him and what he was capable of after the fact, when you had kind of graduated from the NFL Academy?
No, it was definitely after I graduated. It was well after. So basically, I left the academy back in May, and they were like, okay, we need to get a kicker. So they went to the talent pool that was Ireland, and they ran a showcase there in Ireland, and they had 80 kids looking to be part of the NFL Academy, which was, I didn't think there was that much interest to be in the position that I was in. So Coach Hagan then rang me in July, saying, listen, we've chosen Liam Dineen as our kicker. Will you talk to him? And I just said to him that, like, the opportunity, it's very tough to be part of. Like, a lot of lads I've heard saying, oh yeah, I'd love to be part of the NFL Academy. I look at them and I'm like, yeah, in theory it's nice, but you get massive opportunities, but it's hard work. It's really, really hard work. I moved away from home when I was 17. I had to study Leaving Cert on my own. I started business 4 weeks before the Leaving Cert. I didn't even study business for the junior cert, and I did higher level, and I ended up getting the H4. Like, so, but it's, everything is laid out for you, but as an Irish, everything's laid out for you if you're doing A levels or BTEC or some English education system. Doing the Irish education system, you're on your own, and it can be quite isolating as a kicker and doing your education on your own. So, listen, Liam Dineen is doing a great job being able to stay in the academy and compete at that level, and I wish him all the luck in the world.
For any potential, and I've asked a few kickers this. I've had Ross Balger on before. I've had the pleasure of having Paddy McAteer on quite recently. For anyone who is out there potentially watching this and thinking to themselves, oh, I'd love to give it a shot.
Yeah.
Be they rugby, be they GEA, be they any other code, but they think they have the potential. What would your advice be to them? I mean,
you have nothing to lose. Yeah, absolutely. Like, go to a training session with Tig Leader, pay whatever it is, 20 quid to go to it, and he'll tell you within 5 or 6 kicks whether you have potential to go to college or whether not.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. You have absolutely nothing to lose. And more than likely, Tig will say, yeah, I can, if you commit, I can work with you. So yeah, absolutely nothing to lose. It's just about being brave enough to sort of leave behind the sport, whatever sport you played, GA or rugby, because that was really the toughest thing for me, because I knew that I was a good kicker, but leaving behind rugby was very hard. Even while I was in the academy, I'd sneak home and play a rugby game just to be able to play again. Like, so, I'd say just give it a go. You have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Now, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, but the entire Ireland of Ireland, and who knows you and has followed your journey, and the entire Irish American football community, I know, speaking as a representative of them, we're absolutely thrilled for you.
Thanks.
It's fantastic to watch your journey to where you've come and the potential to where you have to go. And again, don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, but we are here in Munich on the eve of the New York Giants and Carolina Panthers. We have seen an Irish kicker take snaps for the Giants quite recently.
Yeah.
Are you dreaming of the NFL, or is it just one step at a time, blinders on, or are you allowing yourself to kind of wonder a little bit?
Yeah, I'm going to give the professional answer.
I knew you would.
But like, yeah, so
Same answer you gave me a year ago, the last time I interviewed.
well, listen, one step at a time, but definitely I will tell you that going to Coles and realising that I'm the fourth best punter in my class, it sort of opened my eyes. Like, yeah, they do usually take three punters or three specialists in the draft, and I'm looking saying, okay, if I apply myself and if I like, everything's in my control now.
Yeah.
And if I don't get there, it's because of myself, and I have no one else to blame. It's not like I don't have the athletic ability or the height, or it's not like I have some external factor that's going to hold me back. If I don't make it to the NFL, it's all because of myself, and I don't know, whether it be a lack of determination or just effort. So yeah, at the end of the day, I'm going to Boston College to push, to better myself as an athlete, and to push myself to get that ultimate goal, which is the NFL.
And if Mammy and Daddy are watching, he's going to do his 4 years. He's going to get his degree.
I'm sure I'm going to get it.
Student first, athlete second.
Exactly. Yeah.
Andy, listen, it's a pleasure to see you again. So excited to watch your journey and your progress. And look,
thanks.
The very best of luck.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.